Sorry about that, everyone. I was having technical difficulties. Anyways, so, as some of you may remember, I was here last month for beginnings, and I did the story about how I became to be a spoken word artist. But this month, with the theme being Hold On, I figured I'd go for something related to my mental health, like Chris. And this is actually a poem that does include a couple of people within the room tonight. Hannah, Spaz, Wendy, Mark. Yeah, it's everyone. You was all involved in this, so if I do mention anything, then please, I apologize. But yeah. So, with the month being February, last year actually, around the 1st of February, around the first week, was Poetry Jam's 6th birthday celebration. Now usually this was held at 200 Degrees, which is a great cafe just like near Colmore Row. But for the birthday celebration, it was held at the Birmingham Town Hall. And it was a great turnout and everything. I mean, a lot of people came. But how the open mic was set up was different. Because instead of like coming there and signing up before, but every name was put inside a hat, and all the names would be taken out, like a select number of them, and the rest wouldn't perform, but those select few would. And back then, I wanted to perform everywhere. I was a rough, unmolded, and wild man. So you can imagine how I was mentally feeling when I didn't find I could perform. And it got worse because originally my mom was going to come pick me up outside the Art Gallery. But because it was raining as hell, right, I had to walk all the way to the Victoria, which is down the road right there, in the middle of a rainstorm, right? My coat was soaking wet, right? And in the car, on the way home, I said to my mom, "Mom, I want to quit spoken word." And she took it a bit hard at first, right? A couple of days later, I posted a video up on Facebook, right, set to some sad piano music, and I stated my reasons because, I don't belong, I didn't perform at Poetry Jam, I wasn't involved in the Poetry Jam anthology, which you get for Poetry Press, and I said that I was quitting spoken word at the end of the month. The whole of February would be my last month as a poet. And I wasn't thinking straight. Then and this is when Hannah gets involved. See, I messaged her asking if she was available to talk. Right? You were right with this?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we spoke on the phone via Messenger, right? And I said, "Hannah, I want to quit spoken word." And she was like, "Mickey, why?" And then I explained that she was all successful and everything, and with everything that you see, back then she was performing all the places, like at Leicester or I can't remember where else. But then she was saying, "Think about it," and the same was said by Wendy and Mark when I called them and explained that to them too. And then like a couple of days after, I came to License to Rhyme, which is an event held in Barn Green, hosted by Spaz. And he explained about it, and I was a bit hesitant to talk about it because it was fighting my mental health, right? And it got to the point where I just laid in my bed and just cried out blood. And then came, after a couple of months and weeks of, technically weeks of thinking about what to do, I went to the Poetry Festival and I performed at the Local Legends show, which was actually the last show of that festival. And I explained to everyone that was there, hopefully those four were there, I can't remember, sorry, saying if I should quit spoken word or I should not. And then my mind just blacked out, right? And I imagined myself in the middle of a public space, right, held, surrounded by millions of people that I knew and said that I was going to be here for a quote-unquote long time. And I'm still here today. And I was like banishing my mental health, like, no. And it did go to a point when I was going to actually quit spoken word again. But unfortunately, like the saying goes, that's a story for another time, another place, and another day. Cheers.